There we go. Got the chat on Twitch and YouTube. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday to those who celebrate. Hope you're doing well. I want to just talk about the fact that Trump is against freedom of religion in America and has talked about unconstitutional acts he wants to do on that. Trump is against freedom of religion here in America and leads to that question, what about America does MAGA actually like? Because it's not much. It is not much. MAGA doesn't like much about America, and they prove this time and time again. They prove it time and time again that they don't actually like the foundations of America, and they're very much against it, and they're very willing to choose Trump over the Constitution, Trump over what we have built, 249 years worth of building. They are just wanting to just tear it apart, just and still pay more because it's not efficient at all, and we're paying more, $154 billion more of a budget than we ran last year under Biden. So we're spending more. It's not more efficient. And I like that Elon's getting back into the spotlight here as the head of the IRS is now resigned. So yeah, that oligarchy is still doing well here. But yeah, Trump has repeatedly, and is now trying to push that America has a national religion and is trying to say that America is going to be a Christian nation. And I'm here to say that is against the Constitution. That is against the founding of this country and the very words of the First Amendment. I mean, just in complete contradiction. And has talked about enforcing Bible study in public schools, enforcing that, and him trying to take over all of these universities by threatening to withhold aid unless they comply with him. And he's very much against Muslims in this country, wanting to put a Muslim ban, enforce that. The way he's talked about Palestinians. Yeah. So very much against freedom of religion. He wants to enforce one belief. And yeah. I don't care about the number in here. No, and I'm not interested in a debate. Not interested in talking with any Trump supporters at this time. I'm talking to other people that sat out last election who are now paying attention. My recent video is something that we really have to consider here with his recent actions against the judicial system. They've all been a test, and they've been a purposeful test. There's a difference between an unconstitutional act and a purposeful anti-constitution. An anti-constitutional act is what he has been doing these 88 days he's been in office, anti-constitutional. And he's welcoming this fight with the judiciary. It's very concerning. And the same reason he gave for using and invoking the Alien Enemies Act is to say that there's an invasion. And the Supreme Court, hey, thank you so much, Monroe. Tapping the heart, appreciate you. Thank you for liking the live. Happy Friday, friends. How you doing? But yeah, what I'm arguing is the same reason that he gave for invoking the Alien Enemies Act, he's going to use for the Insurrection Act. And if we don't start holding members of this administration accountable for their actions and people realize that he may be absolutely immune, it does not mean everyone around him is absolutely immune. So these contempt hearings are very important, and I think we're going to see more of them. I saw another judge is ruling that an order was ignored. I mean, hello. We need to start holding them accountable across the board. We need names on who is doing these actions, who's calling the shots here, who's just following orders. I'm just following orders. Wait until you start hearing that. You're going to start hearing that. The thing is, they're not coming up with anything new in this. We've seen this all before. We've seen it play out in other countries before. They're running the same playbook. And that's why I'm saying he is against the freedom of religion, because we've seen that playbook. That's all authoritarianism. All of it. First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. No law respecting an establishment of religion. So again, he's trying to establish that America is a Christian nation. And you have these theories of the 90 days, right? Is this Sunday, April 20th, 90 days. And this falls in line with what they talk about in Project 2025 in their 180-day plan. So we're arriving at day 90. Day 90 is April 20th, right? This Sunday, Easter Sunday. And there's theories out there that at the 90-day mark, he could invoke the Insurrection Act. In the same line that he invoked the Alien Enemies Act, and saying that we're invaded and start to take military control. And look, we just saw them deploy the military in Texas. We're seeing it. We're seeing it gear up. And that is part of the martial law that he could enact. And it's slow rolling it, right? And everything is leading to the next act, and leading to the next act, and leading to the next act. When I tell you I've not been surprised by anything that has happened, it is day 88, not surprised by any action that they've taken. They've been telling you for years what they wanted to do. It was no surprise what they were going to do if they were given power again. I thought we were all under this understanding, and apparently not. But nothing they've done to this point has been shocking whatsoever. And the problem is, like, and what I try to stick to, I try to always stick to, I don't try to project what, or make any predictions on what's going to happen in the future or even near future. I look at past his prologue and look at the evidence that's leading up to it. You know, I tried not to fearmonger too much about an American citizen getting detained, before it happened, even though knowing it was just a matter of time that it was going to happen, that American citizen was going to be detained. And now that it's happened, I can talk about more about the evidence that we have of it. And MAGA just constantly moving the goalpost, right? Them not caring, them never not caring. Constant not caring about what's happening to others, as long as it's not happening to them. The snowball of shit that are just rolling around is getting bigger and bigger. Yes. And Trump is the Supreme Court's Frankenstein, really. They allowed for absolute immunity, and he is abusing that. And just openly going against this judiciary. But you're seeing judges have egos too. You're coming for, and you have a president of El Salvador taunting the judge and saying, oopsie, you just taunted a judge. And they are a co-equal branch. They have levers they can pull, just as Trump can. And We need a unified fight, and it's comes back to questioning this damn Supreme Court. Can you trust them? They are compromised, and we never got to let that air out. Clarence Thomas over here. We've got Clarence Thomas for sale on the bench, ladies and gentlemen. Just put some money in his pocket, take him on a trip, and he is yours. He is our Clarence Thomas, everybody. Yeah, Alito flying the upside down flag. Just all, they are all in on this, apparently. I guess they're okay with their powers being taken from them as well. It's very weird. Okay. Well, we shall see. We shall see. Going once, going twice. Sold to the rich billionaire who wants to overhaul the entire Constitution and strip it of its amendments and go back to 1798 to 18th century, where Trump has been repeatedly saying that was when America was great. I mean, the alarm bells that are ringing. I know we're trying to all stay calm in this moment, but you're not overreacting. You are under attack. We are under attack. And we just need to mentally prepare for that and really go through what that means. What that means of what he's doing, And I talked about last night about feeling like personally overwhelmed watching citizens get treated like this, and the fact that he's talking about homegrowns, and the fact that he has pardoned who he has pardoned. And how are they doing since they've been pardoned? How many have been rearrested? Gee, just awful human beings, right? Find people on both sides. And giving China and Russia what they want. This has been great for them. China's already made up for their losses with the United States by just going around the world and making more trade deals with people. This has been great for them. What? And then they get us backing down on cybersecurity. Huge for China. And Russia's getting everything they want. Getting everything they want in this. They're hearing us back away. They love that. They love that we are backing away from our ally. It is drastically going to make the United States weaker because we are no longer a country of their word. We are backing away from our word in shameless fashion. Awful cowardice, because he can't stand up to Putin. He can't do it. When have you even heard him say anything direct? It's always, he muddies the waters with it. It's everybody's fault. Even now he's saying it's US's fault, it's Ukraine's fault, it's Russia's fault. This war could end. Russia just stops. There's no mystery. It's the same thing in Gaza. Israel just stops, but neither are stopping. Mr. No New Wars over here. 2 soldiers. He's not persecuting religion. No, he's persecuting our freedom of religion. I myself don't practice, but I live in a country that allows others to practice, and that's what I stand for. I'm not standing for any one religion. Anyone should be able to practice whatever religion they want, and that is not the case with what he's trying to establish. And he's trying to establish America as a Christian nation, and that's not what we are and never have been. So that is an infringement. That is an infringement of the First Amendment. And he wants to forcing Bible study in public schools. The Supreme Court has ruled repeatedly that public schools cannot promote or mandate religious instruction, including Bible study, prayer, or devotional readings. Engel versus Vitale, 1962, banned state-sponsored prayer in schools. So again, what about America does MAGA actually like? It's not much. It is. The U.S. Constitution does not recognize any official religion, and any executive action or law that declares Christianity as the national religion would be unconstitutional. While presidents are free to express personal faith, many have, using the office to impose religion violates the Establishment Clause. So he is against freedom of religion, okay? In so many ways. Mr. 2 Corinthians over here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's a real pillar. Ooh, he's gonna go to church. Is he gonna go one of those mega churches? Is he gonna go one of those mega churches that always close for hurricanes and don't help anybody? Oh, don't come here. Nope. Don't trespass. Cheers to all my coffee drinkers. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you, Lonnie. Yeah. Is he gonna go one of these mega churches? Yeah. And how about all these like evangelicals around him? That's who's surrounding him and why he chose Mike Pence. And now he's got them over Mike Pence. Wild turn. Like the way they worship this man. And I think it's freaky when he does like these ceremonies where they're like praying over him. Have you seen those pictures? They creep me out every time. He just recently did one. And he's being ultra weird with Easter. Like the dude is deranged. Deranged Donnie over here. It is gross and wicked. He's so weird and so wicked. And only likes it because they're praying over him. Like, what the fuck are we doing? We're doing this in the Oval Office. Ew. It's so weird. It's so weird. And especially, like, how... What's frustrating to me is, like, no matter what you try to classify, undocumented migrant, they love to say... illegal alien, right? Okay. And I've asked before, what to you do you envision when you see illegal alien? Like, what do they look like? And it's the fact that they're okay with human beings being treated like that. Because it went from, oh, they're undocumented, so in their brain, it's okay to be treated like that. And now we're seeing citizens. Now we're seeing students who are here legally, coming the right way, that they say. And it's constant proof that you just don't care that it happens to human beings as long as it's not happening to you. So however you want to classify that human being in your mind, you're just okay with it happening. And we need to be reminded that Auschwitz was in Poland and not Germany. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why it wasn't in the country that was doing the atrocity. There's that out of sight, out of mind mentality that we're having with El Salvador. And it's disturbing. It is disturbing that we are sending people there without due process. This is a human being. Whatever you want to classify the person, it is a human being that we are doing this to. And the other point that I shall say here in this, again, coming back to the Constitution here. Okay? It doesn't say citizen. It says person. Person. And I saw a clip of Alito in 2014 get asked about the rights of illegal aliens, is what they said, but I call them undocumented migrants. And he said, all people on American soil have constitutional rights, whether they are here legally or not, because that is what we are setting for the world. Why would it matter if a person's here legally or not? To treat them like a human being, to show the world we will give all human beings on our soil constitutional rights. It doesn't matter if they're here legally or not. We are going to show the world this is how you treat human beings. So, the Fifth Amendment, right? And that's what Alito in 2014 quoted when he said that. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. No person. It specifically says person. It doesn't say citizen. It says person. So you cannot be okay with any human being on American soil being treated that way, not getting their due process, having their rights stripped. The lack of humanity is the reason. Yes, they lack empathy. Even in seeing in my comments, the lack of empathy of this happening. Not even caring in the slightest that this is happening to someone on American soil. It just tells me everything I need to know about who you are as a person, as an individual. And then this weekend, watch you pretend to just hold the Bible. Oh, you're so holy, right? You're so believing in American Jesus. You believe in American Jesus. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the likes too. They believe in American Jesus. And you clutch your little pearls, and Caroline Levitt going out there with the biggest cross. It's like the bigger the cross, the bigger the lies they're about to tell you. Like the amount of anti-Jesus shit you're about to hear. You see that blonde with that big ass cross. Fox News is filled with them. While they say the most deranged shit about other human beings. Not an ounce of empathy. Just looking at the footage that Fox News is playing, like the effing torture corn, okay, that they play, that's what it is. Let's call it what it is. There's certain things I can't say on a TikTok live, but it's disturbing how gleeful they are when they're playing this footage of people having their head shaved and being treated the way that they're being treated in that prison. And they are just playing it on loop all the time in between trans athletes. Oh, they're so disturbing to focus on such a marginalized group in America, to hyper focus on that when there's so many other violations of our rights going on. And you want to talk about 42 athletes in all NCAA, and that's what you guys are so proud of. That's your crowning accomplishment right now. He can't even do his mass deportation right. He's 20,000 a month below what Biden was doing. 20,000 less deportations than what Biden was doing. This isn't the largest we've ever seen. he's just doing it so effing sloppily and so outside the Constitution. It's just everything he does is a mess because he doesn't know how to do it right. And you think like, oh, he's such an outsider. He's has no idea. Dementia Don isn't playing 5D chess. I hate to tell you, he's surviving and advancing, always selling tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. Look how they're all coping. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. He's doing this now because tomorrow, right? You're going to vote for him now because tomorrow it's going to be better. He's going to solve all the problems. One phone call to Russia. One phone call is all it's going to take. 24 hours, he's getting that cleaned up. 24 hours. One phone call to Pooty Poo. To his little Booty Poo. That's all he's got to do. Him and they're best buds, you know? They best buds. And Putin knows that Trump wants this. He has said multiple times he wants this. And they've assured us that Russia wants this. But now they're saying they're trying to put the blame on Ukraine and say we're just going to abandon you. Oh. You see how they move the goalposts constantly? When's it going to get here? And then all of a sudden after the first term we realize, oh, that was when it was great. That he just rode the wave of Obama. You just finally were able to recognize all the actions of Obama. He even tried taking credit for an act that Obama signed 2 years prior. Obama signed that in 2014 for the veterans, and he repeatedly has tried to take credit for that. And now we're seeing in black and white how he feels about veterans as he fires thousands and is trying to dismantle the entire VA. They want to fire over 80,000 by August. How many hospitals will close? He couldn't care less. But yes, alas, he will go to church on Sunday. That's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. As long as he just does performances and allows people to pray over him inside the Oval Office, that makes him something. Grifter. And he put the American flag on a Bible. He put the American flag on a Bible and sold it for $60 a Bible. The grifter. A grift. Like the absolute fucking grift. Like a literal Bible salesman. It's so disturbing. So disturbing. Hey, I have to restart the live. Damn it. You know, sometimes I say certain things, but I have to restart. So sorry. I'll be right back. I gotta restart on TikTok. But we're still here on Twitch. Appreciate you tuning in. Happy Friday. Appreciate the follow. Blue Sky 10. Thank you so much for following. And Diego, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Yeah, we are. I think I might be live on YouTube. I haven't really checked it. Don't really care. But I think I did throw it up there today. Hope everyone's doing well. What happened? I'll get back on TikTok in a second. But yeah, you know, ongoing ongoing constitutional crisis with this guy. Ongoing constitutional crisis. Let's see if we're live. We live? Oh yeah. Alright, we got some views. That's good. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. There we go. Let's try that. There, I can pull up chat. All right. Do have my workout shorts just sitting here. So sorry. It's not perfect. Feels like a good day out. All right. Go live again. We'll pull it back up over here. There it is. Oh, was that Kick? Was that a follow on Kick? Is that what that was? Was that a follow on Kick? What's good, peeps? What is good? Yeah, it was. Okay. Appreciate the follow on Kick. That's what it was. All right. Yeah, I'm live on Kick at R Lanham as well. Talking it up. Got a couple follows on there. Appreciate that. And we're live just today on YouTube. Don't go live a lot on YouTube, but I might start. But it's a lot. It's just a lot. The thumbnail and everything. But yeah. Talking about how Trump is against freedom of religion, freedom of speech too. Freedom of speech, best believe. It's like every amendment you can think of, he is against. He's fundamentally dismantling. He's fundamentally anti-constitutional in almost all of his actions so far in this second term. Just relentless. This is by far the greatest test of this Constitution since its founding. It's a direct attack on this Constitution. It's a direct attack against the judiciary and Congress. And Congress is just laying down for him. Just laying down. Incredible. This is just such an abdication of their duties, of what they... I mean, that should be a violation of the Constitution for Congress to lay down like this. That is more than just being a bystander. That is Uvalde police just standing by. An abdication. Someone should be held criminally liable for just standing by. Like Mike Johnson, you're not going to do anything. Nothing. You're giving up all of your power here to just be servile to Trump. Like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. And he's going to try to violate the Constitution even more when it comes to the freedom of religion. He's already been for years openly attacking freedom of religion, and that is just going to increase with someone like Pam Bondi. See, you confuse freedom of religion with being just Christian. Afternoon, Master Liberty. How has your day been so far? It's been a good Friday. It's been a solid Friday, productive. Uh, Last of my days off here, and then I have the weekend, and then back at it on Monday. So just enjoying the time and trying to use the time a little wisely here. Um, but nice hanging out. It's been nice hanging out and just vibing. We're just vibing, drinking coffee. Oh, I didn't mean to invite. What the hell? I don't know what happens with this like invite thing. No. Don't want to invite. What was that? So I try not to click. The US is the only country where you can literally be whoever you want to be. Look around you. Yes. Yes, user. And that's what I'm for. You know, I don't adhere to any one religion, but I live in a country that allows anyone to practice whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm others. As long as it doesn't infringe on my right, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. What I have a problem with is Trump trying to establish America as a Christian nation. It is not a Christian nation. Never has been, never will be. Never has been and never will be. And it's weird that he keeps bringing this up. That is against freedom of religion. That is against the Constitution. This is not opinion. See, you could read the Constitution to them and they will say they don't agree to it. They're anti. That's why I say Russia created MAGA. They are so anti-American. See, I like that. I like this. Okay. And I'm not here to advocate that it is the best constitution. I'm not even saying that it's the best that we can do. It is a roadmap for a more perfect union. And I'm not saying there's a lot we have to overcome. And I would say things we have to overturn. And we need to overturn the Patriot Act. We need to overturn Citizens United. And we do that through Congress. So there are things that need to change. For sure. For sure. There's not any one perfect nation out there. They all have their flaws. And they always will have flaws. Always will. Always will have flaws. I'm under the thought that we shouldn't have billionaires doing stupid ass space shuttles while they're starving children. I'm under that. I'm under. What? Hello? I did do a restart. So I will read this briefly. First Amendment, you know, I love my little handy dandy Constitution. I love my little Constitution. You know I love it, MAGA. This pesky Constitution that just always seems to get in your way, right? It just always seems to just get in little Donnie's way. And you'll have MAGA saying, just give him what he wants. Just let him do it. Just let him do it. He just throws a little fit, and they want their little Donnie to be happy. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. First, right there, First Amendment. Bada bing, bada boom. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. Or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And see, I'm an ally of those who are not. I'm an ally of those who are not. So you can say that I am, but I'm an ally to those marginalized minorities in America who don't feel safe right now. We've seen an uptick in students afraid to go to school. Whether they are here legally or not, they are afraid, and their parents are afraid of them going to school. This is not okay. This is not an okay treatment of human beings on American soil. Whatever you want to classify them as, it is not okay for people to feel like that on American soil. That is unconstitutional. That is infringing of their rights. And you have people who are openly obedient and submissive to, like, you have no self-respect if your profile picture is this and your name is this. You tell me just with these two things that you have no self-respect. No self-respecting person would have their PFP this and their name this. No self-respecting person would have that. So if you don't have self-respect, how do you expect me to respect you when you worship a public servant like this so openly, so brazenly? That's the thing with MAGA, is they wear their obedience and submissiveness so proudly. They're so proud that they're, hold on. Is someone there? I think we have a delay.
What is this for? Yeah, we're good on our internet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very.
Did you mean to bring me up?
I didn't. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, but
It's okay.
hope you
Come in by one to check.
hope you're doing okay. Hope you're doing all right. Happy Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, happy Friday. If you want to, you should drop me for your algorithm.
Okay, no problem. Um, okay. The legendary hero. Yeah. But what I was, sorry, I was distracted, had a delivery at the door. Threw me off. Okay, back to this. Back to just being amazed at how openly obedient, and it's concerning, when you have people who embrace their obedience like this and try to wear it as a badge of honor. And I'm here to say that there's no honor in being this openly obedient and submissive to someone who is a public servant. The president is a public servant to the people. You shouldn't worship him like this and make him your PFP and your name. There's disturbing levels of obedience. And history has shown us the negative effects of having such a worship of a politician and such obedience to a politician. And to my video that I posted today about martial law, he can then use that to come after your pew-pews, which he's talked about in his first term of violating a person's due process to take away his pew-pews. And what? Go celebrate. Go celebrate. This isn't, if you're for him, this is, you won. Go celebrate. I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you're here. But it's funny. Even in the comments, I can tell they're just like still angry. They're still so angry. Why are you so angry still? You still have to punch down. Why? What are we doing? Why aren't you out celebrating and frolicking and just living life and loving every second of this? American greatness is here, baby. Hell yeah. American greatness is here. All right, let's hear. All right, let's hear.
We're so proud of our president, but
Proud of what?
absolutely, the man, the myth, the legendary hero, the first president to ever stand for the people and really, really.
The
really
people? What people? What people?
the swamp.
What
Man,
people?
look at the swamp draining. It's exciting. It's really exciting. I can't-
He has a meme coin.
Hey man,
That's
we have
swampy.
never discovered so much corruption. Look at what Doge has done. Look at all the billions.
$154 billion more spent this year than last year.
$2 billion a day in tariffs coming in now. Success.
Huh? That's not accurate. It's more like 500 million. And guess who's paying for that? Guess who's paying for that? You are. We are. Americans are. Hell yeah, we're gonna pay so much more.
Why? How did you get here?
Huh?
Did your family come? Was your family born here?
You don't get to ask me that. How about that? You don't. Mm-mm.
You're not proud of where you're from?
What? Like, you didn't earn that. I'm more proud of my actual accomplishments that I've done than versus like where I was born. That's not an accomplishment that I've earned. I like to be proud of something that I've earned personally. Just being born here, you shouldn't have pride just because you were just simply born here. You didn't accomplish anything. That's not an accomplishment. But all right, I couldn't care less more what you have to say. I just wanted to hear your voice. All right. Again, just there's no actual pride in that. Like, go earn something. Go actually do something to be proud of. And I just don't fall into that. You gotta be proud American. No. And you don't ask that of other people either. Yeah. Just openly obedient and just saying the same things. And then if you push back even a little bit, they don't know what to say. Like, they get programmed to say certain things. I'm feeling spicy today. Fuck it.
Hi,
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. I just want to preface this by saying I do not support Trump. I'm just a Republican.
So are you a rhino then?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't really understand what you mean by Christianity isn't the most prevalent in our society, because even if you're not a Christian, there's no values in that are pushed on you. It's not allowed in schools. Like, it hasn't been allowed in schools since the 40s, so I don't really understand what's wrong with our society being deemed as Christian when there's a prevalent religion in every single country. Like, there is a religion that is bigger in every single country, and Christianity is the biggest religion in America. So why do you hate that and reject that so much?
I don't hate it. It's just the fact that there's a lot of Christians living here doesn't mean that it's a Christian nation. It's not a Christian nation. It never will be. Constitutionally, cannot be a Christian nation. That's where I stand. Because it is in direct violation of the First Amendment, respecting no law respecting an establishment of religion. There's never been an established religion in America. You're free to.
Yeah, he's not trying to force everyone to be Christian. That he has literally never said anything.
He wants the Bible in public schools, and he's printed a Bible himself that he's selling for $60 because he's grifting every way he possibly
Are
can.
there not other religious texts found in high schools that kids can explore?
You can study religion, yes, but it's
Yes,
not
so there
as.
should be a Bible in a school as well, along with every single
But
other
it
type of Bible.
not not taught. He wants it taught as a class, and that's not in the like you can go to private school for that, not in a public taxpayer funded school.
Well, do you think that that would actually pass? Do you realize that a lot of presidents talk about things because their morals along with one way, but because of our
No, I don't think it will
there's no
pass.
reason to be scared?
No, I would not. No,
So you are scared that that's actually going to happen? So
I
you have no trust in our Constitution because our Constitution has stood.
yeah, so far, and it has not held him to account for his actions that he's done in his second term. So that is where I draw the line
What
because
actions did he commit in his second term? Biden literally put up Dr. Fauci, who created the virus.
oh my lord. Okay. Soon as you said that, out. Oh my lord, we're talking about that in 2025. Oh my Lanta. Oh. All right. I mean, thanks for coming up and sharing. But yeah, that's where I stand. It's not a hate of it. It is knowing who he is surrounded by and why he's pushing it and why he's having the people he's having inside the Oval Office to pray over him. It is a cult-like behavior that authoritarians have used time and time again. Schmittler was a good Christian, wasn't he? He was. He was a good. Was he a good Christian? Because forgiveness and all. Was he a good Christian? How about that 3-letter agency of the 1920s and 30s? Were they good Christians? Good Americans? Yeah. I couldn't care less about what you would have to say about that. Go to Texas and embrace that doctor who literally has measles as he's serving others. Like, his office is a super spreader. Go to RFK Jr. All I say is, if you're gonna say all of this, and for the record, I had a brother-in-law succumb to that, and he spread false information as well. Don't come crying to the doctors to come then save you when you inevitably encounter something that doesn't care what you believe. Doesn't care what you believe in. Doesn't care about your fucking belief. Whether you believe in it or not, gravity affects you, right? There's just certain things, and that's why I normally don't talk to Mega, because they won't see 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 for them. No. Today it's 93. Tomorrow 1 + 1 will equal 42. Why not? Why the fuck not? It's whatever. It's whatever. You weren't. Because you weren't forced. Because you weren't. That wasn't a thing. You were never forced. You were never. That's not a thing that happened. You're imagining that happening. That was never a thing. Never a thing. Never. Not never. Never a thing. That is a lie. And that is why I disconnect you. As soon as you said it. So again, this is why I won't have certain arguments, because I'm not validating your hallucination. Trump ran a campaign of hallucinations, and the fact that he won validated those hallucinations for millions of people. And I am still trying to process how to comprehend exactly what is taking place and how many are still under this hallucination, right? And it's complete hallucination and this complete separation of reality that they have. It is very concerning. Very concerning. You weren't forced by your government to do anything of the sort. Weird statement to make in 2025. Weird that you're focused. Log off, go touch grass. Log off and go touch grass immediately. Immediately log off and go touch grass. Immediately. But yeah, feeling like I'll let people up and chat today, but to a point. I mean, I truly don't want to hear from anybody who's still supporting Trump. Like I don't want to hear from you. You're against inclusion, right? Okay. So don't ask to be included then. You are against inclusion. And all I am saying is, I want you to learn from your mistake. I want you to learn. Until you can tell me that you've learned something from this. Whether you're my family or not, until you can come to me and say, hey, I learned X, Y, and Z. I see now why you were talking about ABC. Okay. You recognize that 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah, okay, you do? All right, now we can have a conversation. All right. I realize that we succumb to our environment. And if you are of low media literacy, you don't understand the propaganda that was being fed to you for years, right? Okay. And now you're seeing this clear and blatant dissociation from reality that MAGA has. Amy, appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Monroe, for liking the live, getting us up to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. And sending the hearts. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And we're hitting our goal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, W. Amy. Thank you so much. Amazing. Happy Friday to you and yours. And sorry, there's so many stories going on. Like you try to like focus on one story at a time. It's really tough though. It's really tough right now. I know we're gonna look back at this. You know, there's decades where nothing happens, and then there's weeks where decades happen. To think that it's only been 88 days. It's only been 88. It's just because he's been such a fucking prevalent force for 10 fucking years. It's like, it's fucking draining, and I get it, like, but I do feel like people got tired, and then after the election of just seeing it like in their face, like, oh fuck, it actually does impact my life. Oh wow, I just got laid off. Oh shit, I voted for him and I just got laid off. I thought he was for me. Oh, I was a veteran for decades. Oh shit, I just got fired. Fuck. Like, and so just showing a birth certificate and it's not enough. Showing a birth certificate and it's not enough. It just shows MAGA doesn't care that this is happening to human beings. Doesn't matter if they're citizen. Doesn't matter. doesn't matter to them. It's disturbing how it doesn't matter. We've reached new levels of lack of empathy, new levels that we knew was there, but now it's being exemplified. Birth certificate, the American citizen detained by ICE in Florida showed his birth certificate, and they still held him in detainment. And he was a passenger driving from the state of Georgia to Florida. 20 years old. I know there's a lot of stories all at once. It's hard to focus on which ones to follow. I woke up, the first news I saw, Marco Rubio saying we're going to abandon Ukraine. What does our word mean? That of a fucking serial fraudster. That of a serial fraudster. That's the word that the world has to go on now. Serial fraudster. And it's very much in par with his standing as an organization. Just so gross that MAGA would support that. Oh, you want Americans to go fight? No, the very point is Ukraine is doing this so Americans don't have to. And he's trying to throw Ukraine under the bus and try to frame it as it's Ukraine not wanting to make a deal, which is Russian propaganda. And Marco Rubio fucking knows better. And he knows, and you can tell he's having an internal struggle. Whatever you think of Marco Rubio, he fucking knows better. He fucking knows the weight of what he's saying. That's why he has that shameful look. That's why he's trying to sink into that fucking couch. Because he knows what is happening. And this is what you signed up for. Maybe they lied to Marco. Maybe they lied to little Marco. Who's going to be the first one out? Marco's been on my radar. Hegseth. There's so many incompetent people in positions of prominent power that are going to be exposed by one act or another. You just hope that the effect isn't too drastic, isn't too bad. Unless. But that Signal chat was probably just a little speck of the iceberg of the levels of incompetence here. How much information was compromised? What happened to that? Why did we stop pushing that story? That is a huge fucking story. Their information was compromised on how many different apps within hours of that story coming out? And then you have them rolling back cybersecurity. What the fuck? It's head spinning. It is head spinning. Inspector General's getting fired left and right. There's no accountability. There's no checks on the power. There's no checks on the power. Thank you for sharing the live and liking the live, getting us up to 2,000 likes. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're vibing out. We're vibing out on this Friday, so thank you so much. It's an ongoing constitutional crisis and will be until and what's so tough about this fight with the judiciary is that everything takes so fucking long. Like, they have weeks to respond for something, right? So you're waiting weeks at a time for each slow step. And that is what Trump does. Is he's done this for decades, since the 70s. He slow walks and hopes that you run out of resources and willpower to keep fighting in the court, is what he goes on. So the slower, the better, always, for him. So, and that's why they frustrate these judges. You think it's normal for judges to have to say the things that they're saying? No, this Trump administration and his lawyers force judges to say things they normally wouldn't say. Like, imagine how infuriating it is to try to get his lawyers to do just the most basic fucking things, and you see them up there stuttering in front of these judges when you get the transcripts and you can hear their voice. Yeah, they have a hard time explaining why they don't have basic paperwork filled out, even though it's been months. That has to be so infuriating. And they sit there and they know what they're doing is wrong. People around Trump know what they are doing is wrong. Pam Bondi. A pardon cannot save you from being disbarred, Pam Bondi. Check yourself, Pam Bondi. Check yourself, girl. You looking mad tired. Mad tired. Looking mad tired there, Pam Bondi. You looking mad fucking tired there, Pam Bondi. Yes, ma'am. You looking mad tired. Mad tired. Yes, indeed, Pam Bondi. Doesn't matter how many big crosses you wear. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter. You can still get disbarred. Pam Bondi. But as much as we have to wait for these cases, it's very frustrating. And they seem to only work Monday through Fridays on top of it. Like, it's grueling. It's a grueling process. It's been grueling. Because it's been like, oh, now he's finally, I remember being so ecstatic when those 34 guilty pleas came back, right? Like, okay, people are finally going to see him for the fraudster, right? It's just always been like this hope that this will be it. Oh, he's finally going to face his crimes. All right, finally going to happen. And then it falls short. Constantly. So there's already very little faith. The speaker earlier saying, you got to have faith in the Constitution. Oh, you don't have faith in the strength of the Constitution. I have my doubts. I have my serious doubts. Okay? Is his attacks on freedom of religion top 5 for me? Not for me personally. It is concerning, and I lump it in with all of the other clear anti-constitutional acts that he's doing. Yeah, it makes me concerned. That he's going to unjustly go after other religions. Yeah. Look what just happened to Shapiro. This rhetoric. And they want to say that, oh, they're pro-Israel, so that makes them pro-Judaism and understanding, right? No, they're also leading the charge being anti-Semites out here in America. We saw it during his first term, and we're seeing it again now. They're emboldened. His supporters are emboldened to come out. They were desecrating graves. They were desecrating mosques. And I mean, they are openly anti-Semitic. But they're pro-Israel, and it brings up the point that I and others have to say all the time: being against Israel's actions does not make you anti-Semitic. I live in a country where I want to see freedom of religion. Anyone can practice whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm others and doesn't infringe on others' rights. You have the freedom to do that, and I'm saying this man is against that. With his Muslim bans, with his persecution of minorities. No. Master Liberty on Twitch. The judicial branch is still the weakest branch, especially when you factor in the congressional power over them, with the exception clause when they can't use impeachment. Just hope Congress continues to forget that they have power. Yeah, Congress is doing a great job of being a wingman in this. A clear accomplice to this administration. A clear accomplice. Not just standing by, just giving up all responsibilities that are theirs. And just sidestepping. Just sidestepping. Gross. Effing gross. Yeah. Well, I've been live for an hour. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Till next time, peeps. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Amy, for hitting our goal and for all the subs in here on TikTok. I have a link in bio. Thank you, Jello. New link in bio. Check it out. You can have access to all my links. So link in bio. Check it out. New link tree I put together. Hopefully connect everything that I've been doing and putting out. So hope you check it out and let me know what you think. And thank you. Yesterday we hit 200 subscribers on Bleast.com. I was given a shout out, and a couple people did subscribe to Bleast.com. So thank you. That was a bit of a milestone there. We hit 200 newsletter subscribers to my website that I've been working on for a few years, that hosts my novels. I came out with this website I think on the first book, and then I transferred it over. So 2019 I came out with this website, Bleast.com, for my novels, Bleast and Bleast Paradox. So that website hosts that. So it's been a few years. It's a slow grind process. But I've been it took me 11 years to write both of those novels. So I spent a long time writing them and putting together art. Deep down I am an artist, but couldn't just stand by and not speak on my political side as well. I think there's a strong core connection, and there is a lot of politics even in my fictional writing. It was very much an allegory for what I saw happen in Michigan and pretty much across the U.S. too, but being from Michigan and seeing that transformation occur after the 2008 financial crisis was just really and seeing Detroit come back since been inspiring. Shout out Detroit, resilient fucking city, man. And it takes a lot of mental resilience, and seeing that kind of be like a petri dish of what America, and they've said Detroit was kind of like a foreshadow for all of America, and the Flint water crisis, right, which still hasn't been fully resolved and fixed. Disturbing. And yeah, sorry to ramble, but yeah, till next time, peeps. Appreciate you. And thank you, Twitch, YouTube, Kick,